Welcome, everybody, to the ABJ podcast in Not Cool in High School Horror Edition. Today, I am joined by my guest, Billy Trey, a.k.a. TheConverseKid, and Lilly from Witchcraft by Lilly. Now, before we get started, I got to hit you with a quick disclaimer. This show is for grown-ups and horror fans and the movie nerds and the people who don't mind a little gore with their popcorn. This may not be suitable for children under 18, and let's be real, this is absolutely not safe for work. If you're blasting this episode at your desk in the middle of the office, that's completely on you, champ. We anything can go. We might say something stupid, so I just want to put that out there to be upfront and honest. Yeah, I definitely don't make this content for kids. And if you listen to me at work and get in trouble, it's on you. All right, now here comes the serious part today. This episode is going to cover the movie Weapons from 2025. That means we're going to be talking about the following things. This is going to be related to what we see in the movie and what we talk about in the podcast. So if these things upset you or trigger you, be warned. Intense and graphic violence, disturbing imagery, themes of child abduction and manipulation, substance abuse, and the supernatural horror that might leave you linger long after the credits. If any of this hits too close to home, consider this your heads up. Still with us? Great. Because tonight we're diving into one of the most chilling and debated horror films of 2025, Zach Cregger's Weapons. Let's go. All right, so when we first started this is going to be a spoiler-free segment. So anything from here on out that we're going to talk about, stay to the topic of what we're saying, answer the questions accordingly, and we will get into a later part of the episode where we will talk about spoilers and things we're into.
Feels like a job interview.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
we're
nervous. You're making me nervous.
Okay. All of a sudden, I feel like Tom Holland. Like, can I keep a secret?
I'm trying to tighten things up. If you people at home hate this, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best.
That was gonna be my note when I came here. That was gonna be my note. Like, I feel like you got off topic. No.
Yeah. So, after Barbarian rocked audiences in 2022, all eyes were on Zach Cregger, and could he do it again? In January 2023, he Unleashed Weapons, not filmed, but the script, and Hollywood lost its mind. A full-on bidding war erupted. New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers dropped roughly $38 million for the rights, giving Cregger full creative control, and which is rare for horror directors, and they gave him final cut privileges, which is fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Did you see Barbarian?
Yes.
I have
not. So if I can be straight up, it's not worth it.
Really?
Here's the thing. Hear me out. If you watch Weapons and that's your first introduction to his horror film era, you're not gonna like Barbarian.
Really?
It's a shit movie. Sorry, I love Zach, but it's poorly written. The idea is really cool. Keep it spoiler free, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. I forget that it's here.
Yeah.
No, my bad. So to keep it spoiler free, it's basically a movie about an Airbnb that gets quadruple booked in this and no one lives in this town, but the Airbnb is there, and no one knows that because they're outsiders, etc. And there's a being that lives underneath the B&B, and people die.
I think that sounds sick. It's on the list to watch, so I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It's just the premise of why the character kills is kind of weird. It's definitely a good scary movie, but it's just the plot doesn't make sense. As far as Weapons has a great plot, and you can follow it all the way through, and there's it makes you think, and then it never goes, and that's for no reason. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
So
we'll get into that. He wrote it while grieving the loss of a close friend, channeling pain into horror. That grief became the movie's pulse. How far people go when they can't accept death. So this is kind of from the Hollywood Reporter. Weapons was trying to make sense of grief to channel it into something terrifying but cathartic. So knowing this movie came now from Cregger's personal loss, do you think that emotes and bleeds on screen? Or would most viewers miss that layer entirely?
Say that one more time.
Do you think that the emotion bleeds on screen from knowing that he had personal loss now?
Yes. There we go.
I don't know.
I didn't know that. So to me, I missed that layer.
For me, yeah, that makes sense now.
It does,
because
in retrospect.
The Wise Kid You Know was Zach's sketch comedy group that formed.
Did that.
Yeah, Why Is Kid You Know formed after 9/11. They all met on 9/11. Just it's like the MCR story is like, oh, what's going on? And they go and they all meet each other. But yeah, Zach was a part of that comedy troupe. Trevor Moore had passed away, and they never like revealed exactly why. But at the time, he was trying to build a what's it called, moonshine like rig, and they say that he fell off his deck while drinking the moonshine. Some people say that. Some people say that the moonshine thing exploded. No one really knows.
The explosion's
Yeah,
cooler.
yeah.
If you're gonna die from an explosion.
Yeah,
That's the rule.
people don't believe the true statement that has come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess now knowing that, what he was dealing with, that kind of makes sense. Like now I can look back at the film and be like, oh, this is more of a metaphorical, he's holding on to that loss and he is XYZ character.
The only person that you really feel like really channels that grief is the dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have that generic like, oh, the entire town's upset deal, but you don't really feel the impact of that until you meet Josh Brolin. Is it Brolin? Josh Brolin's character? The guy who plays Thanos?
Yeah.
Like he channels the grief really well. And then she's more in grief of just like everything else.
Well, no.
Every single person is in grief
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form. Now that like I'm sitting there thinking about it, like literally all of them are.
Because
but also that also now questions me to believe that like the whole thing is a metaphor for like you using your grief as like each one is a weapon you're using it against yourself. Like you're holding on to that.
Yeah, like how is it a spoiler to say how it's numbered as it goes on? Like it's chaptered off. Chaptered off. Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, "This is very Pulp Fiction."
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is this Quentin Tarantino's fucking horror movie?
Yeah. Without going into too much detail, it's chaptered off, but it all relays the same story, which is really fucking amazing. That's what I guess I love the most about that.
So kind of we're gonna get into casting characters here right now, but when Billy says it's kind of chaptered off, it'll be like chapter 1, this character, and then you'll kind of see a character, and then they meet another character, and then you're like, well, who the fuck's this character? And then it's like chapter 2, this character. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then it tells their story up until the point where they had that interaction with the previous character.
They almost like all cross over.
It's kind of like the movie Crash.
And then halfway through, you're just like, oh shit, wait, we're gonna learn about this person or this thing soon, and then you're like, fuck, like, and you're like, oh my god,
this one?
That's fucking, it's wild to me now. And even like saying that, it reminded me of certain scenes where I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that. And then fucking.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually saying that though, as someone who's like not really big on horror, I did kind of like that though, that like it would get to something really, really intense and then it would skip to another scene and you're like, okay, I've forgotten about that for a minute and I have time for like my heartbeat to just calm down a minute. And then like, you're like 20 minutes later, you've completely forgotten about it, and then it just comes rushing back to you. And you're like, oh my god, I forgot about the thing.
Rushing back with more detail.
Yes.
With more setup.
More traumatic.
Yeah.
More traumatic.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, not every movie is structured this well.
No.
Not every horror movie. No. So don't be spoiled that weapons is early listen.
Well aware. I've watched enough so far to know that this isn't common.
To that point as well, like, to continue with like how good the film is, I think in an era now where everything is like gore porn, like everything is like, oh, it's so bloody, it's so gruesome. This is a good film of just being like on the edge, because it really doesn't get bad until the end, like towards really close to the end.
They could have went way harder and didn't.
I don't think
I know what you mean.
I know what you mean. To the story though, like I'm with Billy, like. The fear factor wasn't coming from all the
it's
gore.
so much fucking blood.
Like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next?
We'll definitely dive more into that in the spoiler section. But let's get into casting characters. The casting journey could be a movie in its own. Originally, Pedro Pascal, Renette Rezev, I'm terrible with names, and Brian Tyree Henry were attached, but the Hollywood strikes blew it up. Enter Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Elrich, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madeline. A dream team was born. Garner plays Justine Grady, a small-town teacher caught in the chaos. Brolin is Arch Graff's It's Archer Graff, a broken father turned investigator. But Emily Magnus, she is the film's own. She's owns the film as Gladys, an elderly woman who calm hides everything, something truly unsinister. So Emily Magnus saved the movie. This is what Krager said, the director. They said that Amy saved the movie. She made Gladys human, and that's what made her terrifying. So kind of getting into the next little question here. And also, they did talk about that Gladys is going to get her own prequel movie. We did talk about it in the previous episode on Dangerous Animals, because when we talked about weapons being upcoming, we were like, well, we're going to see this movie, but we already knew going in that Gladys is going to get more film.
I don't like that. I just want to state that I don't like the idea of that.
I agree with you, Billy. Like, I think that Amy Madigan played a great character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't necessarily feel like I understand that there is a question of like, where did this come from? But at the same time, like,
I think
does she need her own thing? I feel like.
Well, maybe that's it though. Maybe that's it though. Maybe they're just gonna do like something that runs off as to why she is that way, which I would prefer. But I don't think I need a whole film based on her.
I strongly disagree. I think I want to know exactly where she comes from, what exactly she is, how she developed her powers, where did she learn them.
I'd rather learn the lineage of the power, not necessarily just her story. Like more of everyone's story that
was she always this way? Did she get that way when she was sick? Did her powers cause her to decline quicker than she did? Like there's a lot.
Okay,
sorry, we're getting into spoilers.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, because I want to say so much more.
Me. Yeah. That's my bad. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. So without spoilers, which character stood out for you the most? I guess we can skip out Gladys right now.
Yeah.
Did someone else steal the show besides Gladys?
I don't think stole the show.
I think the teacher was the most like. I did not like the teacher the whole time. I did not like her the whole time, but I think that her acting is so fucking good though. Yeah. Or the fucking cop, or the cop, the dude that she interacts with. I don't remember what his name is. Fuck. But his thing was fucking.
Yo, there's a scene with him that I was like, what the fuck? Go ahead.
I would say my favorite character was the tweaker.
I was gonna say that too. Though, like, because he fucking
James.
His character is so fucking interesting, right? And like, no spoilers, but tweaker, teacher, or the cop. That's what I'm at.
I was gonna say, as far as her acting goes, I think her acting is. I won't say that her acting is bad, because I haven't seen enough of her acting.
Right.
But I will say that the characters that she has been playing, like I've only seen this and Wolfman.
Where she just plays a terrified woman.
A girl who needs a lesson to be freaking learned. And you're like, is she going to learn it? Yeah. Did she learn anything, actually?
She's good at emoting, like, fear and just unsettlingness.
Right.
Like she's really, really good at that.
The beginning, like the early scenes is where it's like, you don't root for her, obviously, because you don't know the whole fucking thing.
I thought she saved Wolfman. I thought she was a huge highlight in Wolfman. She was really good in that. I have two actors that stood out for me. I'm going to go with Josh Brolin, who I just love him. I think he's great. I fantasized him playing Batman. I just think he has a good Bruce Wayne look. He has a chiseled, handsome demeanor to him. And he also is really good in action fight scenes. Like, he's just sick. He's really fucking good. I'm a Josh Brolin fan. I want him in the DC universe so bad. We're never going to get it. But I will also go with the little boy.
I was going to say that. Now that I thought about it, I was like, he did a really good job. He kind of pushes the film, because if he wasn't believable, if he was just like, meh.
There's a whole section where, without getting into spoilers, where I was like, he may be the one that is a problem here. But then you see what he goes through and you're like, fuck, dude. As a little kid, he had to adapt quickly to survive. Like,
to play that role is such a weird
for a child.
Yeah. We'll have to dive back
someone
into
heard that kid. That kid channeled something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next one. Reception at the box office. Opening weekend, $43.5 million. Final worldwide would be around $256 million on a $38 million budget. So it beat its budget opening weekend, and then added another 260 some on top of it.
That's awesome.
It was horror gold. Audience gave it an A. Cinema score critics were split. Some called it genius. You're good. And others called it a collapse under its own ambition. Empire gave it a 5 out of 5, something that shouldn't work but does. Roger and Ebert gave it a 3.5 out of 4 and praised its restraint. I like that too. This is another movie kind of like Dangerous Animals, where they could have went like super gory horror, super children are in danger type shit, and they didn't. I feel like it did show restraint where normal horror movies are like, how fucked up can we make this?
Right.
And it gave really fucked up scenarios, but didn't have to visually throw it in your face.
Right.
Because like we talked about in the last episode with Chuck, like I'm trying to get her into horror, but I'm also not trying to get her to that 60s, 70s, 80s, late 90s horror, early 90s horror, where it was just like, we're going to hit you with some of the most intense
slasher type stuff.
Like 90s horror, like 90s Freddy's, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Those movies are slasher, but it's not over gore. They were all like kind of like PG-13 horror movies. Like 90s, 2000s, very PG horror. Like mainstream horror is very like, I remember growing up like, oh, it's PG-13. I'm not even wasting my time. It's going to be fucking stupid. But then you see like the underground horror and you're like, oh, this is where people fucking turn to 11. You know what I mean? So I think they did
like
a good job
hidden
with
films and stuff like that, which was like later in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Or hidden footage, lost footage, whatever.
Yeah.
Found
This movie sparks arguments that it's usually how classics are born. Do you think this kind of divide helps the horror, keeps it alive, or hurts movies like Weapons when critics don't agree at all?
What, just
Who cares, man?
they,
just let the movie be.
What, they were just, it was like a political thing because of the gun scene or something? Or
I think when they seen Weapons and there was children in schools,
they were insinuating it was like about mass stuff.
I can't even say what it's about. Like, this is so aggravating. I'm sorry.
No. But I disagree. I disagree that that's the whole point of it, though, is like, do you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing? And it's like, well, the people didn't even watch the film.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the problem, is that pre like viewing, they're like, oh, Weapons, child, oh, this. And if you don't watch the film, it's like, of course it's going to,
it's going to depict it one way. Like, you're immediately going to think that it is something that it isn't.
Yeah. Without a spoiler, there is a scene where they do kind of show the tagline of the movie in a supernatural way, saying weapons, and it's like a clock, and then it's like a giant AK-47, and you're like, oh, here we go. This is what it means.
That's what you that's what they insinuate. Like, it's like, no.
I don't even know why, honestly, I don't even know why that was there. I'd like to maybe discover that more with you guys. But, well, I think without goes without saying, if what we talked about now intrigues you when you haven't seen the movie, now's the point. If you don't want to be spoiled, is your cutoff point. We gave you ample time.
Yep.
We are chomping at the bit to talk this movie.
Pause the episode and watch it, and then come back.
Or if you're a freak like me, and I like listening to people's spoilers sometimes. Like if I'm really, really, really into a movie, I won't touch it and do anything. But if I'm like, but I'm also someone who doesn't give a shit. Like, you can spoil it for me. I'm still going to watch it because I'm going to develop my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
We have a dude in the Discord. You know him. He fucking spoils everything. But if you spoil something on him, he fucking has a heart attack.
Tony, I'm surprised you're talking about yourself like that. No,
but he was trying to spoil Wicked too for me. And I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Right? I do that too. I do that too. But I was just like, he'll tell me like, oh, that movie was terrible, X, Y, and Z, and then I'll go watch it, and I'm like, did we watch the same movie?
Right. Well, that's, I guess, where it comes into play is like, me and M, that's where the Barbarian thing came from. Her friend is literally a film critic, basically, like went to school to do all that stuff, got their degree or whatever. Come over. Without like throwing them out there, but they were like, oh, you like Weapons? Don't watch Barbarian because you'll be so upset. So I think that's what I was trying to say before, is like when I came into it, I was like, man, I really shouldn't have watched Barbarian after watching Weapons, because the jump in professionalism and writing within itself, and just the jump in like acting.
But as a musician, you make your first album in your personal space with your personal equipment on a budget that you have,
right?
And then your music is like, holy shit, Converse Kid, your music's so fucking awesome. We now want to throw a $38 million production for you to make your next album.
Well, here's
it's not going to be the same quality as your previous
here's the problem, though. They didn't need Bill Skarsgård. in the first movie in Barbarian, they did not need him. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even think he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. He is a main character in it, and he doesn't do much for the film. If I'm being so for real, like he's a great actor.
He's
a great actor.
The stealing point of the movie.
But that was the thing. That was my concept. I know it's not about that, but it's about Zach and his writing within Weapons. It's like he had the perfect cast. So I do think he got lucky within that aspect. I do think Barbarian with a better cast lineup because they had Justin Long from Accepted, right? Mm-hmm. It was Justin Long. And he was also in Jeepers Creepers. Yeah,
he was in this one for like a split second.
Yeah, he's all over the place, but he's a great actor because he plays in the convenience store, right?
Oh wait, we've gotten past the
we're past the spoiler. Yeah, we're in the spoiler.
This is, I think, the first horror movie he's lived through, right?
One of them.
Yeah.
He does not do well in
horror.
Spoilers.
He dies in Barbarian, I think.
Yeah, of course he does. He doesn't get turned into a fucking walrus, does he?
No.
Tusk. Great movie.
No.
So, yeah, we'll talk. That's going to be a whole other topic.
But Zach Krieger, because we're talking about films, right? He created the movie Miss March, I believe, as well, with Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids. And that came out in, like, the early 2000s. I want to say 2004, 2005. So, in theory, like, this is his first major film, but, like, that one was backed pretty well. I think that was a Universal film. Yeah. I can't remember, but
I think he definitely made himself a mainstay in film for going forward. I think he's going to be a director and a writer that people are like, oh shit, he has a script. Let's see what happens here.
Mm-hmm. He also wrote on this TV series called Wrecked, I believe, and it's about like a shipwreck, and it just gets all fucky. But you can tell, like, if you watch that show, you can be like, oh, he wrote this part of the script. Like, you could see what's his writing.
Like you can pull out that part.
Even in, like, if you go into the Whitest Kid You Know skits, they had some dark fucking scenes, and it's like, oh, Zach totally wrote this, or whatever, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Well, let's get into the spoiler section of this movie and just do a quick full story breakdown. So everything starts at 2:17 a.m. 17 children from the same third grade class silently leave their homes and vanish. Only Alex Lilly remains. I forgot his last name was Lilly. I did forget that.
Yeah, you kept saying something. They're like, why can they just call him Alex? Like, why do they have to keep calling him Alex Lilly? Yeah, Alex Lilly.
You're like sitting right next to him.
Yeah. The town erupts into chaos. Teacher Justin Grady becomes a scapegoat. Meanwhile, grieving father Archer Graff launches his own desperate search. All trails lead to Lily's house. Windows papered over, strange noises within. A drifter named James breaks in and discovers the missing children in the basement, alive but catatonic. Watching over them is Gladys, Alex's frail aunt, but she's not just old, she's ancient in will. Using personal items and hair, she enslaved the town and draining the children's life force to stay young. Justin and Archer storm the house, facing enchanted versions of Paul, the cop ex, and James. Blood is spilled, spells break, and finally Alex mirrors her dark magic back onto her. The children's once victims turn on Gladys, ripping her apart like feral fucking creatures. The spell breaks, the town wakes, but the innocence is gone. With that twist hit, Gladys is the puppet master. Did it shock you or confirm your suspicions throughout the movie?
Whenever the kids came after?
No, like when you find out she was the puppet master behind everything.
I think it would have had she not already gone to that house and did all that shit. You know what I mean?
Well, the whole
when
time
she goes to like
hey, your aunt's coming, she's here, she's this, she's this. So like there was a point there where you weren't 100% sure if she was behind everything. And then once kind of she shows up and then the kid comes home from school and the parents are catatonic at the table.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm always very like skeptical when I start watching films and I can typically guess the ending. I couldn't guess the ending for this, but I was like, okay, the aunt's definitely the fucking weirdo. Mm-hmm. When the second that they're like, oh, his aunt's coming to town, or you can't meet with his parents because his aunt's coming. Yeah, that was like one of the earlier scenes, right? It was the principal, and he was like, "I'll have to talk to his mother," or something like.
Because the whole time you're just seeing that the parents are kind of sitting on the couch, not moving. You still don't know why.
Right.
Everything's
So that's what I was
going
gonna
down.
say is like you kind of I knew that there was something about her, and I wouldn't say that I thought she was straight out evil. I
Right.
would say maybe she was like drugging the parents. Like, oh, maybe she was supposed to, like, in my brain, like maybe she was taking care of this couple who was sick and like giving them too much meds or something. But then it shows you the part where she goes into the principal's house and does all that.
Yeah, that's where I was like, oh shit.
Oh, so wait, so if she can control people just like that, like that's the instant that you know that she can control people. So you know that she controlled the mom to go out to the car and cut the hair off of the teacher, and then you're just sitting there.
But you're not sure how like
control with the teacher.
The whole time, the best part though is like you're not really sure how the kids get to the point of being in that house. You're still not sure. You're still never sure where the kids went because it could be a scapegoat still. You know, the kids thing could be completely different.
You didn't learn her power until the principal.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, that's the part where you're like...
Or no, the parents.
No, it was the principal first. So what happened was the principal has already like attacked, right? And then you don't see the why he attacked. You see Alex or the kid, Josh Brolin's character attacking the principal who's attacking Justine.
Yeah, because you're like,
and then that dissipates, and I don't remember where we go, what little story we go on to from that.
Right.
But then you see how she's like treating the parents and everything like that, and then you get to the part where she's like snapping it, or she gets where we're back to the principal now in the principal's house.
In the house,
like,
yeah, because I think it follows the teacher after that, where she follows Alex home, and that's when the teacher falls asleep in the in the car, and you're like, okay, so something weird's happening. That looks like a fucking zombie coming outside and everything. And she gets in the fucking car. That's probably the scariest part of the film with the scissors.
And she's like already jerking around. And you're like, is she gonna cut her neck
And then she just cuts her hair.
What's gonna happen?
And then she just cuts her fucking hair. And I'm like, that's so scary. But that's the part you see the mom who is already like zombified almost, I guess you could say. And you're like, okay, so is that a dead person? You're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was anyone else's first thought voodoo dolls?
No.
No, not
Just
at all.
me. Okay.
No.
Because I'm sitting there
thinking vampire for a while too.
Well, yeah, because everything was being done at the dark.
Yeah, and
it was all being done
source.
in dark, and like like all the papers on the windows and everything. I was like, it needs to be dark. Everything's happening in the dark. But I was thinking like maybe voodoo dolls, because I'm thinking like she has the parents, and like I didn't know what she was doing with the teacher's hair yet. So I was like, oh, she's controlling them, like she's making little whatever with all of them, and then it got back to the principal and
she never uses the teacher's hair, right?
Yes, she does.
Does
she does at the principal's house.
Kitchen.
In the kitchen.
She uses her hair for the principal.
Oh, and then that's why he goes after her.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, she needed the hair.
But she keeps the hair. Like she took it. She takes it back off the stick and like tucks it away. And I was waiting for her to use it again, and I don't think she ever did.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember her taking it back off.
Yeah, she like breaks it, and there's still a strand, and then she keeps it.
Yeah,
I think it might have been it could have been the principal's as well, because to use again.
That's true, to use that again.
Yeah,
but then that
didn't happen because he fucking dies. Yeah, that part, which is super fucked up, because so he like chases her, he runs all the way from his house.
Well, before that,
to the fucking gas station.
His partner.
Oh yeah, that's the part where I was like,
headbutts.
Yeah, he just headbutts him, and I thought this was so cool. Because you don't see the actual gore. Like, it's not overhead. It's just, you're seeing him just fucking thuds. And you watch his face get kind of like concaved. But it's still not super, it's still not super gory. Right. It's still like pretty fucking tame for a horror film.
You know that what's happening is visceral, but they're not shoving your face in it.
And even after he finishes, he stands up, and they still have the shot of his partner on the ground, but it's kind of blurred. Yeah. And you can't see it all.
I feel like
so cool.
I'm not trying to be like, oh, I figured a lot of this, but I feel like I was pretty on par with a lot of my things. I was like, I thought from the beginning, I was like, I think the movie does kind of tell you a little bit of what it's going to go throughout like when they wrote witch on her car, and I was like, and then I seen Gladys, I'm like, Gladys is a witch.
Yeah.
I think she has some type of witch powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
because they write it in the red lipstick, and then she's wearing the red lipstick or the red paint. Yeah.
And then when I was just like, but also she's a witch, but she's almost like a parasite. Like she needs life force.
Yeah.
And then the one time they're in school, they're teaching the kids about parasites.
It's in the that too, but it's also in the TV show with the ants is the fungus that grows on ants.
Yeah, so they were talking about parasites a little bit there too. Like Gladys is almost like a parasite, or she's a witch, or something along those. Is she demonic? Like, there's a lot of different layers you can go with that.
Yeah.
The fucking. I'll tell you the scene that got me. Like, I was just like, and it's not even like supernatural horror.
It's not even scary.
But when he arrests the tweaker, and he's like, "Do you have anything in your pocket?" And he fucking sticks his finger in his pocket and hits the needle, and he just calls him. Bow! I was like, what the fuck, man? And he was just like, what the fuck? He snaps back into it like, shit, I just fucked up.
Yeah, because his body cam's on and everything.
And the fucking
like,
police cameras on and shit. And then I thought that sequence with the cop was one of my favorite sequences of the movie because it was so real. Because then he goes back to his boss, which is his ex's or his current wife's husband, and then he gets caught cheating.
Not husband.
His wife's dad.
And then he has this whole thing where he's cheating on his wife, and her dad's his boss, and then he just made a fucking mistake. That can literally get him arrested as a police officer.
Pause. You're missing a whole nother layer to this. He was sober.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was too. Yeah, and then because the prick. Shit.
So he was the night before that, still before all this though. The night before that, he was drinking
with the teacher,
and then next day on top of that, he freaking gets stabbed by this.
Yeah. And the dad's like, "Well, we'll cover it up as long as this dude does not show his face for 30 days. You're good." And then you see the fucker walk into the police station, and he's like,
and you're like, why? Why would he even come around here? And then you
find out he finds the children, which I was like, what a fucking good layer.
It was that has to be one of my favorite sections in the film. I'll be so for real. Like,
the tweaker puts a lot together.
I did not like his character though. I was like, fuck, I don't like that. This guy is gonna go in here clearly just trying to rob shit, and then it's gonna like turn around. And then be like, oh, your tweaker's the hero. Like, I don't know. Like, it felt weird, right? It felt like a weird way of them to, like, put his character in there. But then it, like, kind of closes in and you're like, oh, shit. You know, like, the redemption is... And it's like, you feel even worse because it's like, oh, wait, no, he's just trying to turn his shit around anyway.
And then when he's hiding in the tent, and you think Gladys is going to come and get him, and he fucking has the needles again, and hits the cop again with needles. He's like, you and these fucking needles!
I would like to go to that, right? So, there's imagery of her so many times before you even see who she is.
Yeah. Before
she's ever come into contact with these characters.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I either don't like it or I don't understand it. Because you see her, she scares the dad.
Yep.
In his like dreams, she scares the teacher, right? In her dreams as well, right? Yep. Like her face pops up when she's laying in bed at night, and then it's from the ceiling. So you're seeing all this imagery of a lady with like orange and like the lipstick and everything way before you ever get to know her, and then it finally clicks. But I'm like, why would you have to show that, or why is that a thing? You know, that's not something that they ever come back to in the end.
So I think she's also very hyper aware of keeping the story where it needs to be and like who's onto her and who's looking into her. And the teacher was definitely one of those people. The dad was one of those people. And the tweaker just happened to be a guy who's like, fuck, he's figuring shit out. So the tweaker already went into the house and found the children.
Right.
And then she was like, well, now I gotta follow him because he could fucking ruin everything for me.
Right.
So she's essentially, she does have the power to fucking get into your mind with her thing. That's just the only ability we know of with her. So if she can do that, she may have other things where she can maybe astral project, or she can make you astral project and make you like get into your head and almost invoke that fear. Like that's another reason why I want more Gladys, because I think there's more abilities to her that we might not even know.
Yeah, that might not relate to like the things that are going on necessarily in this story or something
because
like that.
The best way to discredit somebody, especially if you're trying to do something, is make them seem like they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sitting here saying, I'm having these weird dreams, and you confide in someone, and someone's like, how about this fucking person over here? You know what I mean? And then immediately you're discredited as a person of contact, and now Gladys can keep doing what she's doing.
Right. No, for sure. That was just one thing where I was like, I get it, but like she never physically came in contact with them or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they had their belongings there. Well, maybe the teacher, because the kid goes to school and then they are already missing. Yeah. But like, I don't know. That was just the only thing where I was like, well, why would you show her immediately and then fucking later on? Obviously, it like resembles itself, but it's just like. I don't know.
I feel like as far as like seeing more of her story, I don't really see a point in it. I have more questions as like what happens to her power now? Like does the kid end up becoming the next version of it or like something like that? Like, but I'm not saying again that like are there more questions and can we find out more stories? Sure, but like was the premise of who Gladys was enough in this story?
So you think weapons should just end here?
No. But I think she's saying, like, Lily's saying, like, why Gladys? Or, like, with just the power itself.
Right.
Like, the origin of it.
To someone else.
Yeah. Or I would like... I feel like you can squeeze at least 2 more movies out of weapons. Mm-hmm. I think you can give us the prequel with Gladys, which I'm cool with. And then I definitely think we need to learn more about... So here's the thing, too. I think you give us the Gladys movie, and then you also see... maybe someone come out of her ability and what actually happens to them. Mm-hmm. And then you in your brain can start piecing, well, oh shit, if this is how their long-term effects is, what about that fucking town? What about those kids' parents?
Right, because like at the end when you see...
You have no idea.
When you see all the kids, they're just like, what happened after they tore this old lady apart?
No, they couldn't even talk.
Oh, really?
They were all like catatonic.
The narrator says in the movie, everything kind of went back to normal. Nobody talks about it. The news, everything kind of just acted like it never happened.
Right. It's like a year later.
A year later, some of the kids are now starting to talk again. And some don't do anything.
Because the parents, there's the scene, at the end, there's the scene where, like, finally, they break the kids out of this spell because Alex snaps the fucking... thing in the water as his parents are chasing him.
Well, he goes into the bedroom. He takes her real hair from the wig, puts it on the twig, pricks his finger with the blood, snaps it,
and then all the fucking children go crazy, and you're like, oh shit. And you think kind of that they're gonna go rampant around the town because you're like, how could anything else happen?
Well, no,
he took her hair, her hair. But the wig, right? So that's where I'm confused. Like, is that her real hair?
He took the hair from inside the wig.
No, I don't think he took any hair from the wig. I don't think he took any real hair. I think
they showed him do it.
They showed him take hair from the wig.
No, he goes inside the wig and pulls her long blonde hair out.
Okay. I thought he just took one of the...
that's why I was like...
I thought it was going to be more like that it was something that belonged to her. Like it was like a talisman.
Right. That's true too, because when he goes into the school, even if it wasn't her hair, he went into school and he just took the fucking textbooks.
He took the papers with all the names.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess that's what it is. It just has to be a belonging of you. But, like, even so, then...
Because she did have little hair left, and she had, like, long blonde that she would tuck up into the wig.
Right.
You see him physically, like, gather up what's inside the wig and use that.
I think there's so many parts of this film, too, where you jump from, like, hating her to being like, oh, shit, I feel bad for this woman... I feel like the part where she's like actually taking care of him and then she gets sicker and then you see the like transition in him of being like fuck, I've been taking care of my parents. This is the only lady. This is the only person that's like actually knows that I exist. What happens to me? Right. And he's like feeding soup to his parents and these kids. And that's why...
And all the kids are bullying him. Yeah. He's literally feeding the kids that fuck with him every day.
And he doesn't do anything to them negatively. So it's like, I think that's where the acting from that kid is so important, as to be like, this is just what he does. He goes and gets cans of soup. Right. And I think it's so weird. Like, I think it's really weird, though, that, especially in this day and age, there's not a fucking Home Alone type scene where he goes and they're like, where are your parents? They're not like, where are your parents? So, like, I think that's kind of fucking weird.
But this also seems like a very close-knit community where everyone kind of knows each other.
Right.
And
don't you think that worry would be even more?
Well, they kind of set the tone that his parents are sick and his aunt's taking care of him.
That's true. Yeah.
So they probably thought that just like, oh,
the aunt's not going anywhere.
And he's not cracking. Like the teacher was like, please tell me what's. He's like, get away from me. Like I can't tell you fucking anything. Like if I tell you, I just watched my parents stab themselves in the face with forks.
Yeah, that scene is eerie. That's where the gore starts to settle in. Is like later on in the film.
Yeah,
that's why I would say
they do that, and they're still not like profusely bleeding. Mm-hmm. They have punctures, but they're not like leaking.
It's still just fucking eerie.
It's still very
it's
hard to watch.
Yeah, cringy. And so like that scene really got to me because then in my head I'm like, fuck, what if I ever had to like I couldn't imagine being that kid, that like 10-year-old kid, like he's not old enough to do a lot of shit by himself, and he's just watching his parents like lose it, and he's like literally crying and then sitting at the table with them like just crying but like being like shuts down entirely.
Right.
Yeah. But the interesting thing there too was the parents were crying. So like there is a layer of while they were still first catatonic, like they knew
had some sort of
they knew that they're like, fuck, dude, we can't do anything about this. Like the dad's literally like looking at him and tearing, like it seems like he's almost physically there in his brain, but can't do anything about it.
Yeah, he's like aware of everything, but he does not have the power to fucking And
like
so
like literally under that, almost like frozen.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and he like So I watched a couple interviews of Zach because obviously I've followed him for a long time, just through like his sketch comedy, and then like they did like Twitch streams and shit like that. And there's an interview where they talk about the scene that you're talking about, where there's the gun in the sky and then it says like 216 and he is like, or 217, and people are like insinuating that meant it was like a mass shooting. But if you pay attention,
everything happens.
Yeah. And also if you pay attention, it's just insinuating like the dad was in some kind of army or Marines, like he's been previously deployed or like something. Yeah, exactly. But he never expands on that. He's like, I don't know why I put that there. But I think that's all it is he's just like, it's just a cool visual.
Well, the idea of weapons is essentially, you want to take this one? Because I know that you were kind of hinting at that earlier.
Oh, I don't
like the term, the kids were, everyone was kind of being weaponized with her ability. Yeah, like her ability was weaponizing people.
I was saying that like almost like in the whole movie as a whole, everybody had some sort of grief that they were dealing with, that they were like trying to keep a secret.
Right.
And they were all, it was all being used as a weapon against them.
Yeah.
Who do you think was the most innocent bystander to this whole case?
Can I have a list of everybody first?
I think it's super easy.
I think the
kid?
The principal.
Yeah, the principal didn't do shit.
Just chilling at home.
No, you know what? No. I don't agree with that. Yo, that principal was like, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't need to know about this kid's personal life. I don't care about what he's going through. The fact that he just lost 17 classmates. It's whatever. Like, get over it.
I don't think the principal was super innocent either, because he was like, oh,
like, it was a hassle.
It was hard to take care of. And then, like, the teacher was trying to figure it out. And then the principal was like, stop putting your nose into it. Just let it die.
Yeah, he's literally like, let's just fucking...
But that's not a form of innocence. That's a form of him being like, I don't want to part of it.
I feel like there's a lot of moving parts for his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to fucking navigate the fact that, like, hey, I'm a principal and my job is to make sure this school still moves smoothly. The police are handling the missing case. Teacher, fucking... I believe in you as a person. I don't think you did this, but I also need you to fuck off right now and just stay the fuck home and stay out of this, because you're making my job harder. And now you're calling me to, because like, here's the thing, when you get involved with kids at all, if you're, because I had to go through this as a coach. If I'm a coach and I'm coaching kids and a kid comes up to me and says, hey, like, I'm having a rough go, you have to report that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, fuck, like, this is going to be a thing.
Right.
And then you have to kind of like, they want you as a reporter to be like, don't ask any questions, just report it. But then you have to also be like, you have to vet it a little bit. You know what I mean? And then as a principal, you have to then do that and then be a guidance counselor and then do all this with hundreds of kids in a school.
Yeah.
Now 17 just go missing and your teacher is fucking digging her nose and breaking into the house and following the kid. And this teacher's
that's the thing too, is like it's the problem is that like so much time had passed, and people are still going after the fucking teacher, and the principal's not doing shit to help the teacher at all.
Well, she's not helping herself.
I don't know.
She's stalking the little kid, showing up at the school.
Okay. Hey, you just killed 16 of the 17 kids on your soccer team.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit there and be like, these cops aren't doing anything. My boss isn't doing anything. I'm just going to sit here with my thumb up my butt and do nothing. Bullshit.
I'm leaving that community.
And then you look more suspicious than anything.
Yo, but at the end of the day, like, in that position, you have to fucking let people do what they're supposed to do. Like, I'm not, first off, I would not be in my public town drinking in bars, getting fucking smashed, buying bottles and bottles of vodka in a small little community, and then fucking stake out the last kid in my fucking
school's house. Remember how you told Billy he didn't have to yell?
That's what I wouldn't be doing.
That's what I wouldn't be doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole time, like, you stupid fucking idiot. Like, why are you there?
Well, I think
there were plenty of times where I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
There's like, so much throughout the beginning of the film where you're like, oh, she's just making that perspective that you're giving yourself, you know, she's just playing into that. And then later on, you're like, oh shit, well, you know, it's been like how long? Of course she's gonna fucking feel
how much
this
of this
way.
Can you hold on to? That's what I'm saying. After so long of just everyone going, oh yeah, well, we know
spray
you're
painting
innocent,
your car
but, like,
and fucking and going to your house. Like, that's the thing. It's been months of that.
Well, then you find out it's Josh Brolin's character who painted her car.
No, they still insinuate that, but he never fucking. They never confirm that. They insinuate it, but they never confirm that he did it.
You know where the paint came from?
Yeah.
His construction site.
Yeah.
Because they grabbed the wrong paint.
Oh shit.
And it wasn't opened. And there was one can that was opened, and then they later show it in the trunk of his car. And then they show his truck, and they show him in the truck follow her to her house.
Right.
And then he watches her walk in.
I still think it's all a red herring. I think that kids fucked with her while he wasn't paying attention or something. Because
we're going to try to pit it against him.
Right, because when he goes to, because he's gone to the school several times at the meetings and been the same intrusiveness as the teacher has been, you know? So I think there's another character, which could be Gladys as the parents, being like, go fuck with this guy, or like,
do you think that there's a possibility that Gladys also had his hair?
That's true
and
too.
was like controlling him to kind of be that to stay on her tail. That like, oh, this woman can take the rap. Right. She's been taking the rap for it for the last 3 months. And if there's just him being planted here as a seed to keep going, like, yep, let's just keep all eyes on her.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible because, like you said, it just has to be a belonging. And if the dude was as close with his son as you infer that he was, there's probably a belonging of the dad with the kids' shit, you know, or whatever.
Or even in his truck where she planted the paint.
Yeah. It could be.
I wouldn't go with that. I like your theory, but I wouldn't go with that.
The only reason I don't believe it is because when he gets to the gas station to talk to her and he looks at it, he's like, who the you know what I mean? Like, no one thinks you're a monster. I just want to know where my kid is. Yeah. So why would someone say that after painting on the fucking car?
Because he does it the night at the PTA meeting where he's genuinely hot. He was hot enough to stand up and scream something, and then stalked her, and then watch her go to a liquor store and buy booze. And like I think he staked her out enough to realize, like, fuck, I'm watching her and I'm studying her and I'm just watching her movements, and she's really not doing anything that shows anything anymore. And then he sees this psycho principal run down the street with his eyes bulging out of his head that's clearly something more. And I think he was like, there's something deeper here. And I need to help her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you where I can get behind Billy one more time on this. The night of the PTA meeting, he had everybody pissed off. And yes, I do believe that he followed her and was still ready to give him more of a piece of his mind. But because he had everybody pissed off, people are playing ding dong ditch with her. I think it's very possible that somebody else did it and then shoved it in the back of his truck to be like, haha, he's the one who was yelling at you.
But where he was positioned on the street, he would have seen someone knock on her door, because they don't ever show that either. Right. Because I think he was the one that knocked on her door so she can come out and see the message he left on her car.
And then maybe a lot of it too was just her anxiety. Yeah. Because she hears a lot of things. Yeah. And then she goes out and it's just people walking by. So there's so much that's like insinuated, but not too cleared up on. But it's like totally okay because it's just, you know, how you weaponize your fear and your whole
he was a
fucking
gangster
emotions.
too, like triangulating to where the kids ran and where they ran from, and then he's like, here's 2 paths of 2 cameras I have, like, and he's like,
adjacent
that's
to each other.
that's her house. That's Lily's house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it was done really well.
Yeah.
Let me just get to my last sequence here, and we'll get close to the end. So in the end, Alex becomes both the hero and the heir to the darkness. By using Gladys's own spell, he inherits part of her legacy. Originally, Krager planned a silent ending, just one child staring at the camera. Test audiences demanded closure, so he added Alex's voiceover and redaction. So
so it is Alex's voice.
That's what they're saying here. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I thought it was one of the kids' voice, the narrator. Yeah. So Gladys equals grief that refuses to die. The children's revolt equals victims reclaiming their power, and Alex's fate equals trauma reborn. Maybe the cycle begins again. It's not a happy ending. It's a survival horror, messy, haunting, unforgettable. Do you see Alex as free or doomed to repeat Gladys's what Gladys started?
Yeah, I think it's a struggle. It's a struggle because, like, I don't know. After if I were to be that kid that went through all that trauma, I think I would just be like, "It's over. Life's over for me. I'm gonna check out." You know what I mean?
You're also a kid who's super traumatized, who's been bullied and picked on and watched. But then also, I'm just going by the pop culture version of witchcraft and spells and shit.
Right? How he could utilize all that shit to like get what he wants.
I've done a couple episodes of Truth Behind Illusion. From what I've learned from magic and casting spells, that if you do set negative intention in a spell to go after someone, there is a blowback to that. You're gonna get some negative shit thrown to you if you were going to use magic in a negative way.
I don't think this is necessarily a truth of all magic, but it more encompassing blanket statement. There's always like a price to pay.
Sure. And I think once he used the magic to save the day, but I think there's going to be something attached to him because even though he used the magic for good, he used dark magic.
Yeah. So like insinuating that like maybe the reason that Gladys used it ever in the first place was because of a land of negativity.
Right.
And then in turn she got sick and she was like, well, if I just use it on one person that was a bad person, you know, and then she was like, shit, that bad person wasn't young enough.
I need it as a life force to keep myself alive.
Yeah.
Or what if it was like, let's say that she had her own Gladys, right? Like if this is
and it's
a
just
trauma
a pass
circle,
down,
and she's like, I don't want to have to pass this on to someone else. I'll take all of this responsibility. Trust me, kid, you don't want this type thing. And you know, because you don't know how long she's been doing it for either. Like, you know that the mom says something about, oh, Aunt Gladys was staying with so-and-so, but she passed away, as you remember. But Aunt Gladys is sick, so she's coming to stay with us.
That's crazy. So she was like using
So it's like, so she's kind of just going from like this town to that town. And it's like, oh, she's a distant, like, oh, how come I've never heard of Aunt Gladys before? Well,
and the thing is, too, is that like Aunt Gladys could have never been a part of the family in the first place, I think. And then she met the parents. It was like, they look healthy.
Because the dad didn't really know anything about her. The mom knew most of everything.
And the mom was even like, oh, she's a distant relative. We invited her to the wedding, but something like that. But like, oh, she's coming and we're coming here to take care of her.
Yeah.
And, you know,
which is all the more reason why we need more Gladys.
I guess that's why they set it up like that, is like you'll find out how she met the parents, and it won't be the fact that she's
calculated, how she goes about life.
Yeah.
I'm still more curious, like how you're talking now. I'm more curious to see what happens with Alex in the future. Like, okay, so then what's next for him?
I think just because we're riddled in a world with prequels, that some of us are like, I'm over the prequels.
I don't care about what's in the past. Tell me how you're going to change.
But here's the thing: Weapons is very unique and different, and it's not a rewash of something else. And if you're going to give me a franchise based on something new and a new idea, fucking I want to dive into this franchise.
I guess that's what I really want, is to know what Zach had watched or like what inspired the way that he wrote, because it doesn't feel the same as anything. Like the way that's written is it's structured. It's structured so well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where Justin came in. He was a parent of one of the kids, and he was coming home with the shopping bags, and the dad encountered him because the mom was like, "No, you can't see the fucking footage."
You can't
it just clicked in my head, and then he walks outside, and the dad's there, and he was like, "Hey, let me talk to you," and he like threatens him. He like puts his hand up on his shoulder and shit.
Yeah.
Justin doesn't die though, so we were right.
I completely forgot that part. And the whole time, the wife's just pissed. Like,
she's like,
"You're really just
this is a real fucking thing.
I just told him you couldn't do that. You just walk in the door and like,
and he brings the
why
fucking
am I even here?
the map blueprint of the it's the telephone towers at first is what he's thinking, right? Which sends you off.
He sees a crane,
right? And it's the working behind the house or something like that.
Yeah, he uses a marker to
It's
so weird set up because I think at first they try to make it seem like, oh, it's like a follow the telephone wires. Where do they intersect? And then he's like, oh no, it's different than that. It's the fucking house.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the house at the end of the goddamn street where everyone can see it.
I just wanted to bring up one thing of another scene that I was really into. The fucking scene where all the kids chase Gladys.
Yeah.
I was laughing hysterically.
I did. I burst out fucking laughing. I couldn't help it. The fucking scene, is it where...
Jackass?
Yeah, where they're running through the fucking house.
Just random people's houses. Well, it was set up in the thing of like they were showing off a new house to someone who was gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And they just had like Johnny Knoxville break through a fucking window and be chased by somebody else. I immediately went to a Jackass skit.
Yeah, I was fucking crying.
But then I felt like Eric Andre in a little bit. Like this seems like something Eric Andre would do.
It felt so like
nostalgic.
Normal. Not that, like, just like it kind of felt like the people that were like in the house were actually just kind of chilling in their house. Like that acting was pretty good because it doesn't feel over the top, but it also doesn't feel too nonchalant. They're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Like
they're eating. Like, what's happening right now? And the scene where specifically she's already run to the front yard and they topple over the fucking the fence. But you can tell it's like adult actors because they just like land on them and shit and roll over. I think that's my favorite thing is the practical use.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of CGI in this film, I feel like.
They had to use the kids in that shot too, because there is shots where kids are running, and they use very wide shots and almost blurred the kids' faces, so they didn't have to put kids' likeness out there. But also, those kids are probably laughing and fucking smiling because they're just, hey, we're gonna get 17 and just chase this lady. You know what I mean? Like to me, like
you have to get to her.
Yeah.
For fucking Fortnite V-Bucks.
Okay, so we're gonna make her look like this, but we're definitely sticking another freaking 8-year-old here because who else is gonna be able to like catch them?
That's it. You can shoot and be like, hey, kids, I don't want you to challenge the fact you're gonna rip her apart limb from limb, but we want you to just chase her.
She has so much candy, or she has like so much.
It looked like a fun, and it reminded me
did look like a good shot.
When Ferris Bueller's trying to run home through all the yards and shit, I was a fun scene.
It's such a good, feel good scene too, because you're like so scared for what could have happened to the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, you're like, shit, are they dead? And then you see him feeding them, but it's like, how much could that?
And when Roland's carrying his kid home, his kid's still zombified. Like he's just
nutrition
wise. Imagine being the dad. You see your kid, then you have to go upstairs and save whatever's happening to your kid, and then your kid leaves, and then you follow the path to your kid, and your kid's one of 17 kids who just ripped a woman apart with their bare hands.
Right. You're not like, Josh Brolin, the actual, like, the parents that have no idea what the fuck happened, and they just fall. They're like,
you just got your kids back. But hey, another layer to your kids coming back is they just ripped a random woman that we don't know who they are, literally apart like a pack of wolves.
It's crazy that
with their bare hands.
He doesn't even acknowledge it though. He just goes, "Huh,
he's just
my child."
But he's still in protective mode because he's like, "Oh, there was something more supernatural here. I'm just gonna get my kid and get the fuck out of Dodge."
Right, and he does he picks him up, right, and then he just stands there and looks at all the kids. I think, right, is like the whole thing is he's like holding him. And he's like.
Why are they not attacking?
Yeah, like
anymore?
what is going on?
Like they just stopped. Like now what?
Yeah,
but he was under her control. Remember, he attacks the teacher, because, fuck, I forget if she gets his hair or she already has his hair or something.
I don't know who he were talking about.
Josh Brolin, the dad of.
He attacked what teacher?
There's a moment where he's under the spell too.
Where was
while
the cop?
he's being held.
No, it's the fucking cop. The cop's attacking the teacher the whole time while they're in the house. The dad and the teacher go to the house.
Dad fights Tweaker.
The dad fights a Tweaker, and the cop fights the fucking. I don't remember their names. I suck at remembering the fucking names.
Justine. Paul.
Because she pulls the gun.
James.
She pulls the gun out of the cop's
the principal.
holster.
I don't know. I'm like.
Yeah.
He. And
yeah.
he.
Fucking get on board.
But yeah, Paul attacks Justine. Paul the cop, right?
Right.
Attacks Justine. James.
I don't remember that part. I'm sorry. That's the part where
That's the part. Okay, so
when they're in the house.
When they're in the Lilly house?
Yeah, Justine goes into the Lily's house because they.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll tell you right now so you remember. They step over the salt.
Yeah.
As soon as they step over the salt, things like she uses once again salt as a protection. If you cross that salt, you're in trouble.
Right. That's what it was. Yeah, and the whole time I'm like, fuck, one of them's gonna die or something. And then I think he kills the James. The dad kills James, I think.
The Tweaker, him and the Tweaker are fighting. Knocks him into the basement while he's on the steps.
Oh yeah, you see all the kids.
She pulls the holster out, shoots Paul because Paul she can't control him any other way. So she shoots Paul, gets the gun, shoots
James on the stairs. Yeah.
Then the parents then come after
because the kid stepped over the salt.
Because he thought it was the only way.
Right. That was a whole other thing too.
He was past that point. He's like, "Oh, you have my mom. The kids are here.
Yeah.
There's shit going on downstairs. I've had it."
Yeah. So Gladys fucking realizes that okay, shit's going south.
Yeah,
someone's gonna come to the house.
That's like her protection.
So she like takes salt and puts it across her doorway, and I believe the parents are down the hallway upstairs.
She has the salt at the downstairs with James and Paul.
Yeah.
And then in front of her doorway upstairs, she has the kid's parents like standing guard outside her doorway with like another 6 feet in between them and her door.
There's salt
and more salt.
During the struggle of those two fighting downstairs, Gladys goes downstairs because now her doorway's open because the parents are chasing the child and they're trying to like shining their way through the door to get to him. She goes downstairs and during the struggle somehow gets the dad's hair, Brolin's character.
Right, that's where that comes into play.
And then she uses Brolin because she's like, oh, this dude's strong and fucking can handle himself.
To take out
the teacher.
Or Pauline, right?
Yeah.
Justine.
Paul was the boyfriend.
Paul is the boyfriend.
That's their power couple name.
Because once the kid has the stick, snaps it, the kids kill Gladys. Gladys's power is now broken because she's no longer a conduit to Brolin's character, and he snaps out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because he's about to choke her
out. And he has it now. The kid has.
But he's like the only one that breaks out of it. I guess because it's so soon, right? Because it doesn't sit in that she's soaked any of his life source, I guess, maybe. And he just snaps out of it.
Yeah.
But everyone else was like fucking...
But you could also attribute that to maybe his military mind, where he like, once he snapped out, he could recover quicker. But the time frame wasn't there long enough for him to be drained of his life force.
Right.
Well, the last one here is fun facts and possible Easter eggs.
No.
I think the bulging of the eyes thing, because I was saying too, it looked like his head was the Asian teacher's head was going to explode.
Yeah,
but I think that's because of the damage he caused to his own brain and his own skull.
That's what I had thought at first.
Yeah. How many times
just like where he was smashing in his head on his partner.
That should be a drinking game. How many times did the principal slam his fucking face off of a surface? Because he does it in the gas station too, like several times.
The time 217 can possibly be a nod, or is a nod to room 217 in The Shining. Gladys's full origin story was filmed and cut for pacing, so there is an origin story that was cut from the movie. So maybe we get that in the director's cut later.
It was already in the film, and then they were like... So that could be also why they want to do the prequel as well. That would make more sense for sure.
The structure is inspired by Mongolian prisoners. I've never seen that movie, but that's what it says here. Marketing used fake local news website, so the realistic footage fooled people. I don't know nothing about the marketing of this movie, so I didn't see any of that.
I didn't see much marketing other than weapons. It was the kids. It was the kids running out doing the airplane thing.
Doing the Naruto.
The Naruto run,
yeah.
Warner Brothers has confirmed GLaDOS prequel is coming. Of those trivia bits, what hits hardest for you? The Shining tie-in, the viral marketing, or the GLaDOS reboot that we kind of talked about at ad nauseum?
I didn't know about the Shining thing. Like, I didn't know if that was like a genuine thing or if that's just like, because there's a lot of shit that people have put online about the film, and I'm like, that doesn't sound.
So I don't know. The way that I was looking at the whole 217. Okay, ready? You ready? I'm gonna take y'all down a little trip. First of all, the thing starts at 217, right? We've already talked about the teacher Justine having a nightmare with the witch in it, and then the dad.
Yep. Just Brolin's. I don't remember.
What is his name?
Fuck. I'm gonna look it up now, and I'm gonna feel like
it's something Graff, right? McGrath or something.
McGuff.
It was Graff. I feel like.
Let's go back to.
Anyway,
I'm gonna be like Josh Brolin's character in Weapons.
He also was having nightmares or like foreshadowing, right?
Of her, yeah.
Of her at 2:17 in the morning. Right. But there's 2 people who've seen them, and 17 kids go missing.
Right.
Interesting.
2 ratio 2 to 17.
I was thinking that, or
like them 2 against the 17.
I was thinking that, or the teacher and the student are the only ones that didn't go missing out of 17. Yeah. And that was my thought process was like,
I like that better. I like that better.
2 out of
2 against 17.
Archer was his name.
Archer, thank you.
Yeah, Archer. He looked like he could play a live action Archer.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Here's what it was. No, yeah, it just confirms what I said already.
So, you know another reason why I stay away from a lot of that fan theory shit, like I like it sometimes, but sometimes I don't, is I'm a pro wrestling fan, obviously. This whole channel is very pro wrestling, and wrestling fans with the Bray Wyatt shit was annoying.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
They were booking things that I don't even think Bray Wyatt himself were even into, and the wrestling fan base kind of wrote their own story, and then to kind of put that into a pop culture, I think the biggest fan theory TV show where everyone booked their own ending and didn't get what they wanted at all and then wrote the whole show off as garbage, and that pissed me off because the show was so good, was fucking WandaVision. WandaVision was
I still haven't watched the second season.
It's so
WandaVision at the time when it was coming out, because Marvel was like, no, we're not going to give you every episode. We're going to make you wait every week, which I thought was fucking awesome.
I hated it so much.
That's why I only watched season 1. And I was like,
because every week everyone's like, it's Mephisto, it's this, it's that, it's this. And they got none of it. And they're like, well, that fucking whole show sucked. I'm like, no, WandaVision was excellent. Yeah. You just didn't get what you wanted on somebody else's art project. Right. Fuck yourself. And wrestling fans do that too. Like, well, it wasn't booked the way I would have booked that. And I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'm just like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'll see how it plays out. And then 9 times out of 10, they don't play it out anyway. They're just like, oh, the next one. You're like, you fuck.
I just feel like, as far as like films go and stuff like that, or like books or anything like that, and I guess wrestling too, I've learned through music that like writing in the broadest way possible is the best way to reach every type of fucking audience. So never having an actual bulletin for whatever it is that you're trying to get across is ideal. Yeah. And so like I think that's kind of why there's the whole 217 thing, why no one knows, why they don't answer it, because apparently from the interviews I've seen, Zach was like, oh, I wrote like the entire first half of the film, and then from there I didn't really know where I was going. So they filmed like the first half of the movie, and as they were filming that first half, he's like, fuck, I gotta really, So
and that's why people like, the outside people are like, bro, like, he's a genius, he had this all structured, and he's like, no man, I was winging it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't discredit his art.
No, for sure. And I think that's why it's so cool that he has like a sketch comedy background, but he wrote one of the greatest horror films of this year, in my opinion. As far as like stories go, horror films have not had great stories.
Everyone's saying Sinister's really good. No?
Sinister?
Yes. Or no, Sinners.
Sinners? I haven't watched it.
Everyone's saying Sinners is tough.
It could be. Yeah. It could be.
Is tough or good?
Like tough
is new. Tough is the new good.
I don't know which one you're saying now, because listen, it depends on what culture you're around today.
Yeah. Is it lit enough for me though?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm capping. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying, if Weapons left you shaking, here's some things that you can check out. Barbarian, what was Kreger's first breakout film. Prisoners in 2013, a gut punch mystery vibe. The Witch in 2015, a folk horror done right. And stay tuned, obviously, for Gladys's prequel, already in production. So let's wrap this one up. And that's going to do it for us here at the ABJ Podcast. Woo! Not Cool in High School Horror Edition. Huge thank you to Billy and Lilly for joining me. I will, after I break here, I'll let you guys plug what you guys want to plug as well. If you made it this far, congratulations. You survived Weapons 2025. Give yourselves a round of applause or maybe a therapy session. Huge thanks to you guys for joining me once again. And the massive thank you for you who tuned in. If this is your first time, please like, share, subscribe, 5-star review on audio platforms. If you want to listen to this on your car, we do have that. If you tune into Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you find podcasts under the ABJ Podcast. Also on YouTube, if you made it this far, hit that hype button. We had a bunch of people hype up the last video, and Dangerous Animals hit 200 plays.
Oh, that
doesn't happen very often for me, and it makes me feel really, really good and make me excited. And my momentum is right now is on an all-time high. Is that a new feature? What? It has to be the hype feature.
It is for I was like, channels. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so you earn XP points by watching YouTube videos. So if you say to someone, "Hey, insert 100 friends, just hit subscribe to my YouTube channel," that doesn't really do anything for you. But if people continually watch YouTube and interact with YouTube, you earn XP points. Yeah. Then you can use your XP points to hype up content
even creators. More so than what it. Yeah, that's for cool. Free. That's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that the ABJ Podcast is not meant for kids, not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for something to blast in your office unless you're actively trying to get fired. If you like this breakdown, hit subscribe, share the show, tell me what you thought freaked you out the most. Till next time, stay curious, stay spooky, and keep horror movies. Keep your horror movies weird. So, Billy, to close out, tell people where they can find you and support you.
You can find me on Instagram, Spotify. I don't know Spotify. I don't know about Spotify right now. I'm on Spotify, but should I be?
Why?
Every.
Dive in.
No, it's all good. No, Spotify is just not a great company right now, and hasn't been. So, debating on if I should drop off. There's a lot of things where it's like people want to be on Bandcamp right now because it's just like supporting an artist at the bottom is like impossible.
I get you.
Yeah.
Let me hear you. Let me break. I understand sometimes people are on this like, let's fight the man and fight the establishment. Yeah. We don't have the luxury.
Yeah, we don't have the ability to do that and make it work.
And not reach out of this fucking Schuylkill County mind state and playing shows in Pilgrim. Nothing wrong with playing these shows. But if you want to grow, you got to be on the platforms. Do I like Walmart? Do I like fucking Amazon? Do I like these? No. But it's fucking there. It's embedded. There's nothing we're going to do about it.
Yeah.
Don't remove yourself from the biggest platform for people to listen to you because you want to be with the folk punk scene and fucking be on Bandcamp. There's nothing wrong with
Tell somebody how to live their life.
There's nothing wrong with Bandcamp.
Don't tell somebody how to live
I like Bandcamp because they can actually pay the artist directly.
Yeah.
I think it's a great service. But don't fucking make your net smaller because you're trying to
definitely killing accessibility is probably the worst crime that you can commit on yourself.
Also stay true to you, Billy. You do what
I'm not ever gonna do it though right now, but you have to state it. You have to say it. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know. It is tough right now because there's so many fucking people in the industry that'll ultimately could cancel themselves, but they'll shame you for it. But it's like, you're doing it, dumbass.
Yeah,
like, I'm not fucking
ignore that shit.
But anyway, you can find me on everything as TheConverseKid, no spaces. I think on Instagram it's like underscores.
Yeah.
It's _Converse_kid. Maybe I'll get sued for that one day.
Sick.
But I have a tour coming up in November, so be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be fun.
Next weekend, sir, you and I will both be.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna air by then though.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, it's not
you son of a bitch!
Yeah, we're recording ahead of time. I'm trying to get a bank.
Well, if you have a next week, last week, if you have a time machine, Pink Moon Collective, October 18th. I didn't book anything for this month. I don't have a lot to fucking go off of because I was like,
I got booked.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Yeah, I'm double booked and he's also booked.
I just got booked for a wrestling job.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Who are you with over that?
New Era Pro Wrestling wants me to come in and do ring announcing.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard of them.
I used to work with them, and then we kind of went our own way.
You worked with them up in Scranton.
They were the ones who sponsored the vape people sponsored them for a while.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay, at the Union Vapor thing.
Yeah,
They're a good
right.
company. I have no beef or anything, but
nice.
we kind of went our own ways, and they asked me to come in and help them with some ring announcing.
Shit.
So why not?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do you want to plug?
I will also be at the Pink Moon Collective
That
last
people-
week.
yeah.
That last
and
week.
the following week, I will not be anywhere. But yeah, I'm doing the crafting thing. I'm making potion pads and
Which are really
crocheting
rad. I never
and
thought
quilting
of that as to
and
be a thing.
I
making
like these because like
things.
you can fold them up and take them with you. Like
Yeah,
if you're
it could
like
be anything.
yeah,
I like it a lot.
you can
Thank
wash
you.
them.
Yeah,
Hell
they're
yeah.
washable
Sweet.
and
Oh.
insulated, so they actually don't leave a ring. Like, cause I like my yarn ones. I like the crocheted look of
Uh-huh.
coasters. Like, I don't actually have one sitting here behind me. I hate me. Anyway, but
The tiny holes. they
with the
kinda
little
like.
holes in it, when you have condensation, it'll still seep through,
Yeah,
and like
it's
obviously the yarn will
defeating the
soak up
purpose
some
of-
of that,
yeah.
but some of it won't.
Yeah.
And like so the crochet ones are good for like warm
Mhm.
stuff still. But as far as like if you have something with condensation, it has that little bit of padding in
Yeah.
it, so it like soaks it up and absorbs it,
Word.
and then it's
Is the
washable.
condensation the problem, or just the bottom of the glass leaving an imprint? I never understood that.
Both.
It's the
The
condensation.
condensation is coming from the outside, and then it sticks. Like it goes,
Yeah.
it drips down to the bottom, and then it sits under the ring, and it holds.
Like it
onto
wouldn't
the
leave
water.
an indent if there was no condensation.
Right.
So the
basically.
coaster's stopping the
water
the
from
surface
soaking
from
into
touching
the,
the
wood.
surface,
Right.
Yeah.
but the water itself getting on the table is not a huge deal.
No, that
No,
is the deal.
it does stop the water, too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
problem is the water touching the table is soaking into the wood or whatever it is that's.
Yeah, so
moving
even
the
if it
ring.
was-
But you're preventing the ring from the can or glass on the thing, not so much the water spillage.
both. You're doing both.
Who cares if it's a ring? I care about the ring. The ring is okay. So hold up. Pause.
Tony
let's
has
wrap
this.
this
No,
podcast.
no,
Tony has
no,
this
no,
podcast.
no, stop.
And after
You
the-
asked the
wait,
question.
after
No.
the credits,
I just
No.
punched myself in the mic.
we will debate the
Debate
ring
the
after the music by the TheConverseKid.
Here's the
We're-
problem.
We're gonna have some bonus content for you guys before the cameras rolled, and then we're gonna do a little bonus thing for you guys after.
With
see
the
you guys-
coaster.
Yeah, we'll start
let's
right
go.
back this code for a bit. I promise. Here's music by the TheConverseKid. We'll see you later.
Like,
I got you.
I don't even remember what I ate. Literally, the doctor's asking me this morning, "When's the last time you ate or drank something?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't eat dinner
At a
last
point-
night.
at a
Oh
point.
fuck, what is last time
Oh.
I ate?"
And then at the very, very end, so this is what I'm going to do too. So remember the old school pop cult, like the old school not cool in high school, where it's like, hey, what else have you been into or watching or like stuff like that? I still want to do that.
Yeah.
So once we stop the episode, like, hey, this is it. That's the end of the topic.
Mhm.
The music hits. Your music
Yes.
hits, and then it's we kind of almost do like a mini episode where it's like 15, 20 minutes of just like, hey, this is what I've been into. This is some music I'm listening to. Stuff like that.
Right.
And then any albums come in, like if you want to, if you just want to come
fuck
for
it, girl.
album reviews as well, that's in. Like, so I know she wants. I told her I'll do some Sleep Token stuff with her because she wants to cover Sleep Token.
Yeah.
And then every week we can kind of rotate. Like you pick a band, I pick a band, she picks a band, and then we can kind of do like
Yeah.
a thing where it's like, oh, it's Billy's free this week. Let's do an album review.
That'd be rad. I'm down.
What do you think the odds are that AI will pick up a skull and think it's a face?
Pretty likely.
Nah,
that one's
nah,
fine.
you're
That one's
fine. You're fine.
Head, it gets head all the time.
Yeah.
But listen, there's a lot on your shoulder. over there.
Yeah.
So.
Do you want me to just move that back a little further?
How can you see? Oh, you got the screen on your side.
Yeah.
Because I use it for the time cues and stamps to make sure it's recording.
There you go.
That's really cool.
That got it more in the shot instead of less in the shot. Perfect. Good. Gucci.
Ooh.
There you go. Ambiance.
Billy's is still way in the shot.
You want me to move it?
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Because I don't want to.
Good.
I want it in the shot, but I also don't want it to turn you completely red.
Fair. So like just hitting the backlight, like a back shot. The back shot.
They're good. It's just it's face tracking.
Yeah,
so
it'll be. I think it'll be fine.
Hi Ziggy, welcome to the upstairs that you never come up to.
Hey. Cute.
Make a tighter shot on Billy.
How does my hair look from that angle?
Good. I feel fantastic.
You have one
I
hair
forgot
in the
my
back
hair.
sticking up.
Yeah, I forgot my hat.
I like that.
I forgot my hat in the car.
All right.
As I parked on the side of your house, I was like, "Am I in the right place?"
Right.
Feels like a fucking horror movie coming in.
All right.
Why am I sitting every day? Be a horror movie. No.
Cameras are rolling, so please don't smoke right now. Did you already smoke?
I just hit my vape.
Oh, babes are fine. That's fine. She's just like,
I don't have anything to smoke.
Oh, would you like one of these? No.
Would you like heroin? Yeah. All right. Starting the episode right now for the movie Weapons from 2025 in 3. All right.
The coaster.
We're back. Coaster.
Okay, here's the understanding that he's not getting at. The coaster catches the water.
At this point.
The coaster catches the water
Yes, I'm
Okay.
aware of that.
and also stops the imprint.
But why are you but the imprint is why most people say, please put a coaster down. I don't want rings
an
on my
imprint.
table.
I don't
Because
want
of
it
the
right.
Yes.
Because
not
of
because
both.
of the water, but because the ring itself, if you were to have it on wood, like if it was on this, right?
I agree with you.
The water would
I'm with you.
warp the ring itself would
Sure.
be warped and you wouldn't get rid of
But
that.
what I'm
It's
saying
not a
is if-
wipeable, the water's gone and now the ring is
Just turn the
gone.
whole
It's
TV
the
up.
fact that the
You're
water
so blue right now.
I'm so blue.
You're good. I'm just also worried about the visual of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying your crocheted ones, the water will still seep through and get to the table. And I said, I don't think that's as much of a problem because you're still buffering the bottom of the glass and item that you're putting on the coaster from hitting the table, so you're not getting the ring
But
damage.
you're still getting the water damage.
I understand, but like at a bar, they're not caring if the bar gets shit spilled on it. They're not caring if...
Right, because bars haven't been made out of wood since the 1800s.
I get that, but in general, like even Pilgaroos bar is made out of like concrete. They
Yeah.
don't want the ring from the glass.
No, they don't care about a ring. They don't want the stickiness. Pilgaroos doesn't care about a ring on the bar.
It's a spectrum. As they say, it's a spectrum of coaster.
This essentially is water wet or is like do you?
No, you're asking about water. It's not just like coasters aren't just for water.
Right.
Coasters are to like stop
both.
spillage, like to.
But what she's saying is with the crocheted one, it wasn't catching. So this is
not-
better.
right
because
it's not
it catches
soaking
both.
anything
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
My argument was, are you more worried about the condensation hitting the table, or are you
Yes.
more worried about the ring that the
Neither. I don't care about the ring. I care about water.
my
care
whole
about
life has been
a coaster
put a coaster out
is
so
to
you don't leave
stop.
a ring on my table.
The whole point of the coaster is to stop wetness from
Yeah.
hitting the surface.
Okay.
And most coasters are
Whether
made
it's
of
in
wood,
ring
like
form, in droplet form, in splash form,
I guess just my
wetness,
my
surface,
my life has been
cushion in between.
fucking don't leave a ring.
don't leave a
The
ring.
rings were the issue. The
Yeah.
ring was
Well,
what the
yeah.
problem was.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
only
The
way it would
coaster was never
leave the
designed to not have the ring.
right. The only way it would leave the ring is if there was condensation,
Right.
like a
Sure.
warm,
Right.
a
I'm
warm
with
drink.
that.
Yeah,
But like what I'm saying is, if a little condensation gets outside, you're more still protecting the bottom of the can or glass from leaving the ring because the coaster's still
Okay,
Right,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna take you down a second separate
I hate
path now.
this.
What if you
I hate
had a
this.
hot cup? Okay.
yeah,
So you're gonna if you have a hot cup
Sure.
mug, and you have that mug has like a concave, right, or convex on the
Yeah.
bottom of it. So it's
That'll
still
also
gonna
build the
have
ring.
that
Shit, I never
condensation,
thought about
right?
that,
You
yeah.
will still have a ring that's not coming from the
Yeah.
outside; it's only being suctioned on the inside.
So the coaster
So another
itself.
reason for the
yeah.
coaster is for that heat to not warp your wood as well. You
Sure.
can still get a ring without having
Right.
wetness on the outside.
And also so that you don't then pick up the drink, put your arm down where it was, and then burn yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom,
So another
There you
bonus content. We like to take the second to talk about things that we're watching and that we're into. Anything music, pop culture.
Hell yeah.
Actually, this is the horror
It's the life of the
episodes.
show,
Have you seen any other horror stuff?
I watched Good Boy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Did
Without
y'all watch?
spoiling,
Y'all
Haven't
watch
seen it
that?
I want to see it.
Yeah, you do. without spoiling, it's great. It's a really good horror movie. I think it does a lot more at the same, like, I think it does a lot more of the same of weapons. Gotcha. Where gore isn't necessarily a thing that happens.
It's not oversaturated.
Yeah,
I love how everyone knows the premise of the movie, and then people are hating the movie because they didn't like the premise that's been told to them the entire time.
Yeah.
They're like, there's nothing really happening. It's just from the perspective of a dog.
Yeah.
No shit. That's what you've been told.
And that's also a lie. A lot happens, so.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like it's necessary. The dog doesn't die.
Yes.
I will say that.
The director even came out and said that.
There is a dead dog.
There is a dead dog.
Yes.
But the main character dog isn't
yes.
dead.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yes. And there is depictions of not animal cruelty, but definitely endangerment.
Gotcha.
So if that's something, I think those are fair warnings.
I think that's fair. Yeah, no.
Is that like animal violence?
I am trying to more
maybe
put
not
warnings.
Cruelty, like we're not killing the dog, but is there like animal abuse?
Kind of, yeah, kind of.
It's hinted
yeah, we'll
at,
just
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hinted at, but not visualized.
And it's a really good telling. I mean, it made me like after the movie, I was like, shit, I need to be more kind to my cats. Like I don't know, not like. And the thing is, like, I don't even do like. I guess I just don't do anything with my cats. I'm like, I need to do more stuff with my cats. Like, you know what I mean? It's
this movie gives me like Courage the Cowardly Vibe dogs.
Courage the Cowardly Vibe dogs.
Yeah, I know. Vibes. Yeah, sorry. Where Courage, I always had the theory that what Courage was seeing wasn't real.
Right.
Courage was seeing things that only dogs can see and humans can't.
Right.
And his owners are like, would you chill the fuck out?
Right.
Like, you know, the dog's barking, like, going crazy. Well, we don't know what the dog's receiving.
Like,
the dog's like, it's fuck the whole thing! What the fuck? And you're just like, I'm trying to watch TV, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? For sure.
And I also think, in the same way as I'm like
this right now. My cat is pissing me off.
But in his way, he's like, I gotta save you from this.
He's like, there's an eyeball here.
Yeah. It's like, does anyone see this fucking thing?
It's literally, I think you should leave sketch around right here. Yeah. The cat's like, I thought it was a fucking volcano going off.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, like, I definitely feel like what Good Boy does, and here's the thing too, it was not written to be a theatrical release. It was written as for a film festival. So even taking that into mind, like, fuck, this is a good movie. And the fact that someone backed it enough to get it to play in theaters, you know, not long after, it was pretty long after, actually.
I love that more independent film directors and stuff are getting shots.
Yeah. But I do think that keeping that in mind and realizing, oh, this is a low budget kind of film, it makes it that much more impressive, the shots that they pull off. And I'm pretty sure a majority of it's like practical. There's some like CGI stuff, but like I've just been on the go with like anything practical lately. I don't know if it has to do with the ties towards the like Guar family section or whatever, but it definitely is like, I'm more so, excuse me, fucking hey, what the hell? I am more so inclined to watch a film that's all practical based effects with like just a hint of CG that like, you know, like maybe like a blur, or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think practical effects are for. I like practical makeup. I like practical stuff like that. Like
I like art.
Where it's just like, oh, cool, you can make the monster in CGI,
right.
or we could put prosthetics on.
It's still the thing is though, like I guess for me with CGI is like it is very impressive.
I appreciate both, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, because it's still time consuming. It's not like you just fucking. There's a difference between AI and CGI, and that's like a whole fucking conversation that people have to have.
But AI is in
everything.
AI isn't just ChatGPT.
Yeah.
AI is in everything.
That's what the battle's supposed to be against, but people like don't realize that. Like there's
you're fighting ChatGPT when AI is on the phone that you're making the post on the platform you're making the post on the fucking server you're like, you are complaining about ChatGPT on a device and a platform that is 1000% run by AI on an algorithm that is built into the there's so many layers that
and
AI.
And if you'd like to call someone, you can sit on a what is it called, teleprompt? Which is also AI.
I understand that there is cultural and there's environmental effects that are happening because we're building these things for AI.
Well, that's the problem, right? It's the abundance.
Sure,
of it.
But like this is where yes, maybe we are having a problem where it's killing water supplies and power supplies and this and that. But now as a country, we need to figure out ways to then ramp up the water, ramp up everything else. We need to make it so small towns like this, whose internet is not, and water supply and everything sucks because we're still on fucking pipes and things that are from the 1800s and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fucking New York City has upgraded in their infrastructure. We need to then build our infrastructure up to match what's then coming to make us more technology sound. It's not, let's get rid of the technology. It's
it's utilize the tool that you're given, not fucking destroy the tool that is there.
It
like there's no need to fucking do your scream in my background. Like that's just not necessary. You could go to Photoshop for 2 seconds or like a picture app and fucking do it. Yeah. Like it's just like it's those small things are the things that a lot of people are bothered by. But instead of stating that, they're just like, abolish AI. And it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The problem
is, too, is like the podcasts. Podcasts can go away tomorrow because AI, you can literally tell AI to make you a podcast that you can listen to based on something.
Sure.
And there's no
Tell me a story. Yeah, exactly.
You can literally say, AI, I need a thumbnail and artwork for this, and you're killing local artists. Music. Hey, AI, make me I want to hear this song sang by this song and this theme
and this
makes
band,
it, and you don't have a fucking.
I think the tough thing too is a lot of people will make that argument, the artist thing, right? A lot of people make that argument. They won't even pay an artist, and they won't even do it themselves. So it's like it's a struggle, right? Because it's like I'm not good with my fucking hands and shit like that. But if I think in theory, like if I could draw something. And then be like, hey, can you like just refine the edges? Not like make a whole new picture. What the fuck is the problem with that?
Yeah.
You know? Or like, can you show me how to do that? Utilize it as a tool, not as a fucking...
Exactly, as your crutch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content creators who are taking a lot of their work and making AI do a lot of it, and they're just sitting back doing nothing.
And then it's one of those things where like, remember in like middle school when they're like, can you cite your work? And then, like, everyone's going to go back and cite their fucking script, and it's going to be the same shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, Tommy did this, and then Cindy did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But the realistic thing is if you tell a class full of kids to fucking give you a report on fucking, I almost said Adolf Hitler. I mean, that's a great, more kids should learn about him so they fucking see his blueprint is being used right now. But, like, if any historical person, I need 3 of us to do the same report on this. Well, the only thing that's going to make that report different is your human brain's version of what you took from that research.
Yeah.
What they did historically isn't going to change.
Right. It's how you word it, how your
phrasing.
Yeah, phrasing is.
So to pull the curtain back, the how I break things down in segments and everything, that's AI helped me write that. I'm not a good writer. I struggle with writing. And then when I try to write things down, I forget what I'm trying to do. And I'm using AI as a tool to help me
structure
say different words,
yeah.
structure my content. But then also, because I struggle as these things, if I want to take the next step in my career with reading off a teleprompter or doing voice acting work, I need to get better at reading out loud. Growing up, I used to fucking have anxiety being in class and like, Tony, read this chapter in front of the class. Mm-hmm. I'd rather fucking kill myself than fucking do that.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it on my content. Like, I think I was good for a long time just fucking going off the cuff, but then I feel like we would lose the structure of the topic of the episode, and then people would be like, I'm not watching this because I tuned in for this episode, and you're talking for 35 minutes about
something
wrestling.
else, yeah.
And this is where the bonus content at the end is where I can throw that in. Now, am I using AI? Sure. But my thumbnails, everything I'm doing there, that's done by me.
I couldn't tell.
What do you mean?
No, I'm not, I was doing a bit. I was like, are you serious? I thought that was
everything else my content. Now, editing. I'm not a strong editor. I'm still learning. And I was using a program called CapCut. CapCut changed so drastically it doesn't run on my computer anymore. Right. So I went to Adobe. Now I found a program and an add-on in Adobe that I can drop these 3 cameras in, say, this camera's me and Lilly, this camera's Billy, this camera's all 3 of us.
Right.
It takes that footage and fucking
lines it up,
lines everything up, but then also says, Billy's talking, cut to Billy's camera.
Right. And that's utilizing it in a way that actually fucking is helpful and not just like stupid. You know what I mean? You're not wasting
hours editing a podcast because I have a 40-hour-a-week job to do. I have a relationship to maintain. I'm someone who didn't maintain a relationship and friendships and everything because I sat at a table and did everything like. So yes, am I using AI to help with my editing? Sure, but I'm also now using that time that I'm not putting into all that to fucking be with humans and be with my partner and enjoy stuff and like. So in that aspect, it's like sure. Am I ruining the environment by using
but it's
AI?
not like here's the thing though, is like
sitting there going, hey,
can you
I need a podcast about weapons.
Yeah.
That's it. There's your prompt. Like you're sitting there going, hey, here's my
information.
This is my setup, this is what I want, this is what I want to talk about, these are the people I want to talk about, I want to talk about other things that they've done, I want to have this and this and this and like.
But even in my prompt, I have it written out like, hey, give me a section about the director.
Yeah.
Guys, what do we think about the director? And then we are putting our genuine human thoughts where we're still not making it a complete AI podcast. AI is giving me that structure to say something like, hey, here's a topic, then here's your characters, then here's your movie. But still, I feel like I'm doing a good job, at least for me anyway. This is the first time you've seen this new structure. Where I still feel like my guest is involved and we're still talking about the movie.
Yeah. I also think it keeps you on track too. I think that would be ideal. Send the fucking format to the next person. You know what I mean? Send the format. That way it'll be a lot easier.
But a part of me is also terrified that I send someone, hey, this is my... And then they immediately judge that this is a complete AI podcast. I don't want to help anymore.
Right.
But I'm letting you come here experiencing this and see what I'm doing.
I think using the pinpoints will be so much more helpful.
Yeah.
Like in that aspect, so you could be like, here, we're on section 1 right now. And then like...
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then you can cut out like when you're like, oh, section 1.
Because even when AI does this, I even tell AI, hey, I don't like this. And then, and I talk to AI, and then because AI is fucking what it is, it's learning me. And like even my intro and outros, it's learning my humor and it's watching my channel. And it's saying, oh, this is like, if you want to blast in front of your boss, you'll get fired. Good for you. Like that's something I would say, you know, which is kind of fucking weird that it's doing that. But like,
there was I was driving home and I left my aux cable out of my car because I had to take it to the garage. So I took it out and I forgot to put it back in. So it was like at my fucking house. So I was driving home today from New Hampshire, which is a 6-hour drive. And then I just stopped here because I was like, I want to do the weapons episode. And if I don't do it, I'm going to be so mad at myself.
Chuck couldn't make it tonight, and Courtney was going to jump in, but she couldn't make it either.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Well, I hope that I helped enough. Yeah.
I would love to do more with
because I fucking love Zach. And so even if we did like episodes where we watched his previous films, I think it'd be funny for us.
On the list.
Well, I think it'd be funny for us to watch Miss March first, because that's a comedic movie, and then go to Barbarian, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is the drastic change?"
When people don't stay to the they have a format maybe or a style. Is that done?
I think it's just about.
Hey, Ruby. What is it? Ruby Soapworks. Ruby Soapwork candles. We need to order a new one soon. They're a local business I fucking love.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I remember the WAP candle I used to put on the podcast. It was called WAP. But it was like a warm apple pie, not...
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, this candle's fucking amazing. And then I used to use their soap. Like their hair, like they had a bar soap.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, dude, their stuff is so good.
That's right.
And then we were at Pride, and I physically met the people who did it. And I was like, dude, I've been a fan of your fucking shit forever. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, I love your products. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, they're local. You know the shop down the street from the YMCA, between the YMCA and the police station, there's like that building that all these local craft people put their stuff inside of. And you go inside there, and it's like a little. Have you ever been in there?
Oh, no.
It's like a little. The window is there, and it's like right by.
It's like a consignment shop.
Kind of, but it's all like local. But their stuff was in there.
It's here
in Pottsville.
Oh, in my town.
Yeah, I'll show you where it's at. But
I have no. I don't even know.
She
where
hasn't
the
even
YMCA
been in there.
Is,
yeah.
So.
Oh shit! I would like to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a cool little place. But that's where I first found them. But now I found they have their own thing. I like them a lot. There's a girl at my job who makes soaps. I buy her soaps a lot. And then there's this place I want to order some stuff from because I had a beard oil from them and something else I love, but they're called Conjuring, but they're more like spooky, paranormal, witchy vibe soaps and stuff. And
I've only gone to like locally for that stuff was Loki and Layla's candles.
Dude, they were good too.
But I think he took the regular store out, so now they've just been kind of like.
I'm not sure where they've been yet, but I used to use their stuff a lot too.
Yeah,
Loki and Layla were like big supporters. Well, they're still big supporters of the content. I've seen them at Brewfest, and we're still very. They had a candle. It was called like the Husky, and I was like, dude, this smells like Nirvana's Closet, and it was like very Nag Champa Patchouli based candle.
That's awesome.
I love that.
So we carry the incense from that used to be in Nirvana's Closet. at my shop. Yeah.
What are they?
The Wildberry incense.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just Nok Champa the whole time.
Nah, dude. Come through. Because, like, I tell people that all the time. Like, do you ever go to Nirvana's Closet in the store? We're the only shop that I know that actually carries them still. And there's in Cressona, there's a smoke shop that also does, but not as many. How
much is like a pack of incense?
10 of them is like $3.
Oh, maybe I'll just
sometimes people will spend like $100 and like, I'll just be like, just take
next time you come to the podcast, I'll throw you like 20. Just bring me like $20 worth of incense.
Word, I got you.
And then, guys, I have a little incense thing over. I usually light one for the podcast, but I didn't do it this time. I had the candle lit. But but yeah, man, that was really fun.
This is our little tangent on candles.
Actually, there's
so unrelated.
There's one more thing I want to talk about, but I also want to keep an eye on the recordings. But I think we're good. But I started watching the Ed Gein.
I did not. I've seen a lot on it, and I like
give a full review because I want to do a review on it. But where I'm at right now, I really like it, but I also really hate it.
I'm afraid to watch it because I've been just like anything documentary on serial killers or anything like that lately has just gotten into my head, and I'm like, man, I don't trust anyone fucking near me at all. Fair. Like, and it's not a. I know that's just kind of like. Well, no, it's a rational fear. I was going to say that's an irrational fear, but no, it's totally rational because the dude's like, people have families and they do that shit to the fucking family. Yeah. And I'm like, so like that anxiety lingers in me, and I've been trying to stay away from too realistic, you know?
So your girlfriend messaged me.
No, I figured it. Then I saw her.
So I'm going to sound like a very desensitized person right now, and I'm going to come off as probably really psychotic and gross when I say this, but I don't mean it this way. I watch a lot of serial killer stuff. I'm fascinated by what makes them tick. It's the human experience, right? I love mind hunters.
Well, why do people become fucking therapists or like, you know what I mean? Like psychiatrists.
I have a lot of theories, and sometimes those theories probably offend and upset people, but it is what it is. But I always was always told that Ed Gein's the worst of the worst. And then researching and learning about Ed Gein, I was like, he really wasn't that bad. But what he did was so early on, and it was so publicized at such an early time, and it was trying to deflect a lot from what was happening in the world at that time.
Because that's the dude that also
inspired so many other cultural horror movies that were so graphic and gratuitous.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He was the dude that inspired like Leatherface's character and shit
Psycho
like that.
and Silence of the Lambs. But he was essentially, and I'm going to say simple-minded, but he was mentally challenged, but also had a lot of deficiencies and stuff like that, and then had a very overbearing mother. But he only has confirmed 2 kills under his belt.
Right.
And the rest was just him grave robbing. And then taking dug-up bodies, which I think it's still gross and weird.
Yeah, but you're like, he didn't murder them.
I think it's a lot weirder to be Jeffrey Dahmer killing someone and then taking their bodies and physically by hand the person he then killed, and then dismembering their body and eating it and doing what he did.
I feel like
Gein was like, well, this person's already dead. In his rational, simple mind, well, they're already gone. No one's going to care that they're in the ground or not. I'm fascinated by it. I'm going to go dig them up. I'm not saying what he did was correct.
Right.
I just don't think it's as bad as
to put him on number 1 or something. No, yeah, for sure. I also like. I do think. Do you remember the Dahmer like biopic that they did, where like they make him out to be a lovable character because I guess that's how they want you to feel about like whatever.
I don't think Dahmer did. They did that at all with
people, I think they did. Yeah, because
they used that kid from the Disney Channel, right?
Yeah.
Like that one,
the kid
from Ross Lynch or whatever.
From the kid from American Horror Story. I know
American Horror
Story.
Evan Peters.
Yeah, Evan Peters.
Yeah.
That was Jeffrey Dahmer. Why did I think it was?
There was a couple different films.
Bundy, they make you feel like he's a relatable small guy because that's how he did. But Dahmer was another one who was just a really weird, quirky, strange fucking dude.
Without spoiling it, because it's a good watch, but like I just really think that or at least the people that watched it.
That's the problem.
The people that watch
watch serial killer stuff.
There's 2 movies.
Yeah, so My Friend Dahmer, I guess, was a movie, and that's the one that the Disney Channel.
My Friend Dahmer was a documentary based off someone who was legit.
It's a movie, not a documentary.
Yeah, My Friend Dahmer
is based off of.
It's based off the book of a guy who actually was friends with Jeffrey Dahmer growing up.
Is it the one?
Right, but that's the one.
I think that's the one that I'm probably talking about. He was romanticized.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like
the Netflix one, he was not.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't the Netflix.
This is not what I'm not talking about an actual
this
like
isn't, like,
documentary.
Monsters,
No.
like,
No,
the series.
Netflix takes so Netflix has the series of like the tapes of when investigators go in there and then they do like the tapes, but then they take the tapes and then make it like they hire a big name actor and then they play them and then fucking make it a movie.
Which was the Evan Peters version.
Okay.
So like
so my friend Dahmer
was
fucking
the movie, not
that
the
was
series.
that was the movie that came out as like 2016, 2017.
2017, yeah.
People like romanticized the shit out of him after that. Like people were like, "Oh, I would have let him
I
fucking
I would
have let him eat me." Yeah, like shit like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of this movie. This is the one
Yeah.
that I was telling you had the
because
Disney Channel
the way that they
starring
did it
but
was
they
like
made him so charming and so lovable.
it doesn't
and so...
matter to like spoil
No,
it because it's so old, but like in the beginning, it's just like
For the record, I haven't watched it.
but you'll like it. You'll like it. I'll just tell you this. In the beginning, he just finds roadkill. And you're like, oh, what? Whatever. He's just fascinated by bones.
Mm-hmm.
And then it escalates. And then it turns into like the relationships that he's had. And
he was also gay and sexual.
You think, well, no, that's what it is. They think that he was gay, but they never insinuate. Like, it's never been like proven.
It was.
I don't know.
He's 100% gay.
But I think that's why, though. I think that they're like, oh, well, not cater, but like they definitely play on the gay thing and they try to make it seem like, oh, but he could have been a better person if he just got like.
This is where it gets tough when you talk about serial killers, especially the key ones, the Mount Rushmore ones, if you want to say. I don't like when people say my favorite serial killer because you're romanticizing someone who hurt people.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, especially the ones that were pushed to the main media, there was an anti-gay movement happening, and then they were blaming the fact that they were gay, that they were serial killers.
Right.
Which I don't necessarily agree, but I also think when you sexually repress people and you don't let people be who they are and you make it so stigmatized and like if you're gay, you're evil, I think that's when people who were gay were
kind of like act out or whatever.
If I'm evil, let me show you how evil I can.
100%. Dahmer was taught that he was this evil monster scumbag because he was gay. Mm-hmm. Instead of being accepted and being like, hey, you're gay. Like, that's where I think it's from a different perspective where I'm like, hey, maybe this guy could have been fixed if society was treated people of that differently.
It's like you're gonna be Dahmer or you're gonna be Freddie Mercury, and you don't know what don't know the coin flip.
Yeah,
it's just an
But he was still super calculated and he hurt people and he did horrible fucking things.
Right, and it's such an unfair like examination, right? Because like because there's such a like what's the term, like faith in like America type feel that like anyone who isn't 100% straight or wasn't like Catholic or Christian, you know what I mean? But those murderers don't get sought after. They're like, you know what I mean? Or like if there was a school shooting or something.
Thousands of serial killers that we don't even know about that don't get politicized because there was an agenda with a lot of these guys.
There wasn't anything to push.
Because they were gay, they were anti-church, they're devils, they're evil people, and we need to fucking showcase. It's an anti-gay movement. It's like almost like the Satanic Panic, but it's a gay panic movement. Where like, hey, let's bring, because here's the thing too. What they don't talk about is, or sometimes they do, is like Dahmer and Ted Bundy and a lot of other people had child victims. And those don't even get talked about at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they were just, regardless of what their sexuality was, they were
predators. They were predators. Yeah. And that's crazy. Like that's just, it's insane. And then like speaking of predators, then you go into like the 2000s, To Catch a Predator, the fucking TV show that gets taken off the air because it's entrapment.
It was to an extent. So
no, I get it, but it's just kind of like if you're
from one, it's either one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
So I can tell you how. So here's why a lot of these YouTubers these people are getting off, because listen, just from the world of wrestling, I know people who got off.
Oh yeah, because the Roblox shit.
Why did he get off?
He didn't.
He got 4 years.
Well,
4 years. Come on, he's getting off.
He got off because
let's talk
he
about
knows
that.
who's in the
You
office.
think he's actually going to serve those 4 years?
I didn't see how many years. I just saw that
he's actually even going to serve the whole 4 years.
It depends.
He gets to pick what prison he goes to too. Apparently, is like a whole thing.
He'll get a cushiony seat, but I think he'll serve a little bit. But I think higher people will get him out sooner, because
You don't think he's gonna get?
Anyway.
He's gonna get Epstein.
I don't want to go political.
No,
but
sorry.
I think there's going to be people who are in higher cabinets who were probably in attendance and his buddies, and they're going to help him out.
Yeah.
But
Shit,
what was I saying with the?
The predator, catch the predator. Yeah.
So
the predator.
There's a guy. I watch a lot of them on YouTube, and there's people who are really good, and there's some people who are good, but they're also shitty people, and it's a whole thing. But if you go into a
YouTube
chat,
movement now, yeah.
So if you go into a chat and I say, I'm attacking, I'm trying to get you to be the predator. Mm-hmm. If I make a chat and I message you first, that is 100% entrapment. Mm. I'm contacting you first, and I'm directing the conversation based on, because I know you're going to take the bait. So I'm pretty much entrapping you by telling you I'm underage by messaging you first. Right. By law, that's a trap. Even though you're still going along with it and doing everything that's illegal, I'm grabbing you and steering you in that direction. Mm. What happens is these people go on these chat. The way that the good people catch them is they go into these places with these profiles. They're saying that, hey, I'm 18 or I'm 27 or I'm 19. They message them and then say, hey, I'm actually insert underage person age here.
Right. Are you okay with that?
Are you okay with that? And then this person goes, sure am. And then you're fucked. Right. Then, once again, in those conversations, you have to let them engage in the sexuality. You have to let them engage in inviting you over. You have to let them engage on the meetup.
It's crazy how that was like a whole thing where they were like, oh, let's get him. But then half of the time it was just like, for the bad fucking things, it was literally just people with like
bad people got off with no charges, no registry, no nothing, because the people who did the investigation did it wrong. Mm-hmm.
And never
they didn't do it by the book.
Contact enforcement or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, not even in contacting the enforcement, because there's still times when you don't have to contact the police and say, here's my evidence. And depending on some DAs are like, I don't want to deal with this because it's like kind of like being a good podcaster and shitty podcasters. There's
weird way to say it.
The shitty podcasters and shitty people doing it will then ruin the image of the people who are trying their hardest.
Right. So you meant from that perspective. Yeah. I was like, it's kind of like being a bad predator.
No, I'm saying these people who are doing these catches and doing it by the book, but there's so many negative people who are fucking up the DA and fucking up people's investigations and letting bad people go, that a law enforcement, like, I don't even want to fuck with these fucking YouTubers.
It's such a waste of time. Yeah.
It's a waste of our time. But then there's a few good ones that then get in there. But you have to realize, are these people doing it, and this goes with all content or anything in general, are these people generally doing it because they want to make a change?
Or they want to just be famous? Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, you'll see the ones where they, like, go in and they beat up the dude. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, that person is so, like, obviously so in a different mental capacity. You know what I mean? 100%. They're not 100% there.
I watched a video where there's those, now the ones he's talking about are these predator catchers who go and physically assault them.
They
beat the shit
on video.
Out of them. But then and I'm not giving a pass, but there are some people that they're going after and targeting that are clearly learning disability people who are clearly
who probably don't think the same way as like, and they never show the sexual
not giving a pass. I think if you have an adult living in your household who has learning deficiencies, they should be treated just as a child, and you should protect and monitor what they're doing on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
I think to a certain age, the internet should be treated like any other substance, any other adult thing. Like, if you give your child a phone and you give a person who's not mentally sufficient a phone, they can get caught up in really crazy shit really quickly and put themselves in a lot of trouble. Yeah. Children and people who are older but maybe have the mentality of children. We have conversations with our kids all the time. Hey, just because you have phones now and you're on the internet, you're on these apps, you need to be fucking careful. You can get caught up in some crazy shit really quickly. You need to educate people about the internet. It's not just a tool to be like, hey, get the fuck out of my face, here's your tablet. No, you're kicking on a tablet and the world can get opened up and they can get caught up in some really bad things if they're not
without even intentionally doing so.
100%.
Not just viruses.
You have a younger brother. You know what I mean?
It's scary too, because it's like, I know with him, he's literally just watching fucking TikTok and stuff like that.
But some of those TikToks have some subliminal shit. You're like, hey, what did I watch? Let's talk about it. You know why you watched that? You well, what does
do you understand the meaning of it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have that conversation.
And so it's like, it's really hard too to be the older brother because obviously my parents didn't see that within me. It wasn't the same. You know, I had a console or video game console or whatever when I was a kid, you know, but we grew up within it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like,
we grew with it.
And it's weird because my mom just didn't really have any interest in like computer stuff or anything like
AI
that. Yeah.
Making these videos as good as they are.
Yeah. It's scary. It's really scary.
I know it's a funny one, and I chuckled at it, but did you see the one where the guy takes a t-shirt can and just shoots that old lady directly in the chest?
I couldn't tell. that was fake.
Really, I mean,
it was super scary.
Yeah, that's super real looking.
The only thing that set it off for me was after the third watch, I saw the fucking thing go through like his arm or something. You know what I mean? It's so fucking
him just laughing and not having a care in the world, and then the other people around are freaking out, and he just stands there smiling. I was like, oh, that's AI. Mm-hmm. Unless he's a fucking psycho, you know what I mean? But
it's scary, dude. Yeah. And that's what I was saying. I was on the car ride home. There was a thing on the radio where this girl's like, yeah, I could just, it's like TikTok, but it's all AI. And I can just say this prompt. And then me and my friends are like dancing with skeletons and shit like that. And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, what? Who is this fucking for? You know, because like the AI thing is like, it's definitely like a political movement, but neither side is interested in it. You know what I mean?
They are.
There is some that are like, I want to fucking...
Wait till re-elections come around again.
Yeah.
Wait till you see how hard AI is going to be pushed to help re-elect stuff in the future.
I fear that shit.
That's why they're doing it. Why do you think we are, not to get political, but they just put into law that they want to essentially let AI go unrestricted for the next 10 years and no one can do nothing about it. Who do you think right now is using what
platform? What person?
What president is retweeting on his platform AI videos 4 times a day on a daily basis?
That's insane.
He loves it, dude. Because AI and algorithms are catering to his fucking ego and his brain and making him feel amazing. Insane. And he's getting sucked into a fucking vortex.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now.
Dude, he put a video up the other day that was so AI and so bad that he's in the video saying things that he wants done in the country that he didn't even physically say. And he liked the AI version of himself saying it, that he posted it to the world as the fucking president of the United States.
That's crazy.
Wild times, brother. We're only cracking the surface.
Dude,
that's the next AI.
That's the next move. That's the next president.
Movie. That's the next horror movie right now. AI, it's coming.
AI, A period, I period.
Meg 2.0 or 3.2.
No, they already had.
Well, they had AI, but it was fucking the Will Smith movie.
What's the one?
Terminator.
Hold on, pause. What's the movie with Haley Joel Osment where he's a robot? Wasn't that called AR?
Oh, something like that, shit. Maybe, yeah.
But listen, I want to cut this off.
Sorry.
So you can't get political, but I joined in on the conversation.
I'm looking at the time frames. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the bonus content. If you like this or any movies you want to see, I'm going to end this right before our cats literally get into a fist fight. See you guys next time. Right here.